Hey everybody, I'm Jack Reeder with Future Pastimes, and I'm the designer of The Adventures of Conan. And in this video, I wanted to talk about the achievement track. This is one of the things in the game that players can advance on for various reasons. It has three different tracks. So it's got a thief track, a pirate track, and a warrior track. And everybody starts with their player tokens on these icons. And throughout the game, you're going to have ways of moving your token along the track where you will gain certain rewards along the way, including victory points that you will get at the end of the game. And for the different types of characters, so you've got Conan, you've got an ally, you've got a foe, it's going to be easier for Conan, of course, to advance on this achievement track than the other characters. The ally has just about as easy a time. In some cases, they may even have an easier time advancing on it. The foe has the hardest time advancing on this track, but everybody can. And I want to talk about what it takes to do that and why it's going to be worth your while. So there are many different ways to earn victory points and things you can do with your actions in the different phases. But when I play Conan, Adventures of Conan. Whenever I play this game, the achievement track is usually one of the things that I try to focus on, no matter which character I'm playing. So let's talk about the different ways that you can advance on the track, and then we'll talk about why it's worth your while. So in the main phase of the game, this is going to be the easiest way for Conan and for an ally to advance on the track, and that is because when they have rolled results that match those attributes, and you can see them here: thief, pirate, warrior. If they've rolled those results and they are in a kingdom with those attributes, then they can use those results to advance on the track. So Conan is here, and he starts off in Samaria, and as you can see, Samaria has the warrior attribute. It matches this attribute right there. So if Conan has rolled a warrior, now here's a double warrior, but let's move this over to, like, there you go, single warrior. It's the main action. You've rolled this. Conan is in there. You can just say, yeah, I'm going to spend that die, and that lets you just move your token up the warrior track. So bing, I've moved up the track, and each time you move up a space that has an icon in it, you're going to get something for that. So in this case, it's going to be rolling the local kingdom die. So if Conan is in a savage kingdom, then Conan is going to roll the savage die. And the savage die is it's probably, I want to say it's the worst die. It's a die that has, it's the only one out of these 6 kingdom dice that has 2 blanks. So you have the highest chance of not getting anything with the red die, but it also has a lot of warrior results. And if you roll that, then you would pick up a warrior fate token, and those are arguably the best ones to get in the game. So there's goodies for doing that. And as you can see, it's that easy. If you're in a thief kingdom and you've rolled a thief, or here's an example. We've rolled a pirate, and if we can get Conan to move, so either he moves or the ally moves, and let's say you just move right to Pictlin here. So this one has the warrior and the pirate one. It also has the snowflake. These are both snowflakes, but these are not attributes. They only refer to these encounter cards. So some of them will say snowflake on them. But here, you see, Pictlin does have 2 of the achievement attributes. So he could spend, once you get there on your next action, you could spend that die, spend that pirate result to move up on the pirate track. You don't get anything the first time you move up, but the second time you'd pick up a fate token. So that's what you're gonna get there, a trade fate token. Now, the other thing, though, is that these results as you can see here, this pirate result has two different things you can do on it. The second one, because it's got the white instead of the black, and this is not the final. It's going to look a slightly different, but same sort of concept. Um, it That means you can't deploy. So deploy is if you've rolled your character symbol. The character symbol is kind of like a wild, where you can say, yeah, I'm going to use this as one of these other results. You can use it as a pirate, but only for moving from a kingdom with the pirate attribute to another one. So for moving up on these achievement tracks, you have to roll the legit symbol. So, but that's the other thing, is that Conan might need to get to a kingdom with an adventure. So if we're trying to get to, and it wouldn't be any of these, but let's say there was an adventure in Stygia that he wanted to do, and he's all the way up here in Pictland. Best way to do that is to use a sail action, and that would mean spending that die to move from a kingdom with that attribute to another kingdom with that attribute. So you don't always get to the freedom of just saying, yeah, I'm just going to advance upon these achievement tracks, because there's other things that you may need to do. But sometimes, if you're like, all right, there's an adventure here already, I don't need to move, and I've rolled 2 pirates, that's a great opportunity for you to do that. So likewise, the ally has those same options. So and the ally is wherever Conan is. So the ally is here, and Conan is, yeah, we're going to stay here and do this adventure, or I'd like to. And the ally is like, great, I've rolled a bunch of pirates. This is going to be a great opportunity for me to do that as well. Now, if the foe is in a kingdom with these attributes, so let's say like Tothaman, he starts in Stygia, which has the pirate attribute. And Tothaman, doesn't have a pirate symbol on any of his dice, but he does have a wild symbol, which can be anything. But the main phase actions for the foe don't have that. It's just one option. So if he's rolled a pirate, well, he won't roll a pirate, but if he can use the pirate action here, the sail action, to sail, but he can't advance by spending dice in the main phase. So how does a foe move up on this track? Well, there's 2 ways that it can happen. One is it can be, isn't always the case, it can be a reward for the plot track. So looking on here, so we've got, advance on your lowest achievement, advance on your highest achievement. So if the foe is green, and they're all down here, these are all their lowest achievements. So they could say, yeah, I can advance on any of these. I'm going to advance on Thief, and that's going to get me a gold. Or if they're all tied and they're advancing on their highest achievement, same thing. These are all tied. Any one of them is their highest. They can say, yeah, I want to get that gold, or I want to move up on Warrior to roll a local kingdom die. So those are both good options. So, but it's going to depend on the plot. Here we've got a mix of 5 different plots, determination, solitude, etc. But you can look ahead and you can see, what is the reward for moving up on this plot track? And remember, there's 2 ways to move up. Once in the resource phase, you're going to roll to move up. But in the main phase, you can spend your character results to move up on the plot track. It's just going to cost dice equal to the chapter number. So here, if I'm moving up to chapter 2, I'd have to spend 2 character dice to do that, or wilds. So that's a way. So here you can see the ally, if they move up on this chapter 2 of the Test of Fortitude, they get to advance on any attribute achievement. So that's one way is here. Another way is on these adventures. Here we go, advance on Thief. So that's one of the rewards for completing this adventure. Now, the foe doesn't have much control over this. It's going to be Conan and the ally, first of all, deciding which adventure they're going to attempt. So maybe they will go to Aquilonia, and they're like, great, we're going to attempt this adventure. It's a tough one, though. There's 5 symbols that they need, and 2 of them are sorcery, which Conan doesn't really roll. But if, as the foe, you complete that adventure, you will get this card. Then you have to actually go to Aquilonia. But if you're in Aquilonia at the end of the round, you get all of these rewards here. So you would advance on Thief, you would gain a challenge token, and you would roll the military die. And if you stay in Aquilonia, in the next round, you get these again. So that's another way. But again, it's not easy. So these are not the easiest ways. But there's a third way that anybody can advance on the achievement track, and that is at the end of the round phase. So players with completed adventures gain rewards, which we just talked about, and then players can advance on achievements when they have appropriate fate tokens. So if you're the foe, and let's say that you're Tathaman and you're here in Stygia, there are ways to get fate tokens. There's a lot of different ways. You can get them from the plot track. You can get them from doing adventures. You also get them by just getting victory points. So here, once you get up to 5, that's a local fate token. It's a fate token that matches any attribute for the kingdom you're in. So if he's here, he can pick up a pirate fate token whenever he gets a local fate token. And then at the end of the round, if he's still there, you can spend that fate token to move up on that track. And the rule for that is you can spend 1 fate to move up once, or you can spend all of the fate tokens for that attribute, if it's 2 or more, to move up twice. So your best bet is to try to get 2 of these so you can boop, boop, move up twice. Because if you've got 3 and you want to move up twice, you'd have to spend all 3 of them. So, but there we go. And here you would get a trade fate token. And of course, the value of that is you can do a trade action. And let's say that I've got this, I'm deploying it to trade, or I'm just using my wild. I'm going to do a trade action to trade this token in for any token. And here I am picking up another one of these. So that at the end of the round, that would get me up there. And look what I get for moving up there is I get one of these again. So I would spend 1 and then I'd get 1 to move up, which means that I will probably get to move up again in the next round. So once you get 1 of these tokens halfway up this track to this space right here, 2 things are going to happen. One is that at the end of the game, you're going to score 5 victory points, and that is per token that you have on here. But as long as you have had at least 1 token get this far, you also will unlock a free extra die at the start of the round. So the start of the round, you're getting more dice, and so you would say, great, I've got another die here, and that is for free, and then you can buy more dice normally. You also often will unlock a free die by getting halfway up the plot track. So here it's 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. If you can get up to there, that's another free die. And more dice means that you're rolling more dice. It means you could spend more character results to move up on the plot track. You have more opportunities to do actions that could maybe help you get more fate tokens and move up on here, or do whatever it is you need to do to mess with Conan. That is if you're the foe or the ally. So this is great. Now, if you get a second one up here, this is going to be another 5 points, but it's not another die. So you're only ever going to unlock 1 die. But at the end of the game, if you've done this, let's say you've gotten that one that far, that's 10 more points that you score at the end of the game. And that is one of the biggest reasons why I work on these achievements. I want to get at least one of them halfway to get that free die. But I'm trying to get all of them at least halfway for those points. Now, if you can get it all the way to King Conan, this is going to score you 8 victory points. That's instead of 5, so it's not 8 additional. So in this case, I would score 18 points, and that's a big boost at the end of the game. And the reason you're not going to get these right away when you get on there is because we don't want you to get, score those points right away and you're getting these things. So you're wherever you are, you're like, I got up to 20, and then the end game was triggered, but now I'm scoring my extra 18 points. So 38 points. That's a nice jump right there from end of game victory points. And so that's really what it's all about, is trying to get those guys up there, because this is how you win the game, I think, is with these end game victory points. It's possible also to get there's some end game victory points in the, as you can see here, there we go. There's some end game victory point challenge tokens, but there's only a couple of those. So you can't really rely on that. Plus, once you've gotten one, it stays on your character card, and other players can try to take it away from you by dueling you. So you're maybe like, oh, I gotta run away. I gotta keep from dueling, or maybe you do want to duel, but that's a topic for another video. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways. So as Conan and an ally, because if you've rolled these symbols, you just need to get to a kingdom that has them. And some kingdoms have got multiple. So like if we get to Zingara, that's got thief and pirate, which is very nice. If you get down here to Shem, that has thief and warrior. And then Tehran is great. It's got thief and pirate. It's also two different kingdoms. So if you roll the local kingdom die, you get to roll both dice, the savage and the port dice. So you increase your chances of getting maybe another warrior fate token, maybe a pirate fate token you can see on there, maybe some extra gold. So that's a great one to get to. Plus, from here you can do a sail action to get to any of these kingdoms over here on the coast. Everything except Shem. Shem doesn't have the pirate symbol, so you can't sail there. But you could sail to Argos and then just do a move action to get to Shem, and there you got the double. You got the warrior and the thief, so pretty nice. These two both have warrior and pirate on them, so those are good kingdoms to be in, to gain local fate tokens, to spend those dice to do movement up the achievement track, and to, if you've got those fate tokens, spend them at the end. Anybody can spend these fate tokens, so if you've got this and the round ends, Conan is in a kingdom here with the warrior attribute in Nordheim. He can spend this and then move up on that track. So like I said, it's so easy for Conan and for the ally to do that. There's no excuse not to put a lot of effort into it. It's a great way to get a free dice. And Conan's dice are the most expensive. It's 3 gold each. And it's not any easier for Conan to move up on this track. It's easiest for foes to move up on the track. Conan has a harder time. So your best bet, Conan, is to get these fate tokens and move up on these tracks, unlock a free die right here, and you'll pick up some stuff along the way. So you get to roll local kingdom die twice on the warrior track. You pick up 2 gold on the thief track, a couple of fate tokens on the pirate track, and some more stuff after you get to the halfway point. So that is the achievement track. Now, and a lot of people that I've been demoing it for, they're like, what is this representing? And it's kind of funny because originally there was a god token. These are the base game god tokens right here, plus the 2 that were unlocked in the campaign. But there's one in expansion 1, the Numidian Chronicles. It's the Crom token. I'm going to take a look at that. The Crom token was originally going to be in the base game, but it got moved to the expansion. And what this does is it lets you take control of Conan for the round. So you may have started the game as Conan, but somebody else picked up the Crom token and they've played it so that they can take control of Conan. So it really meant that everybody had the opportunity to be Conan. In a game without the Crom token, this is just kind of representing how other characters are faring along Conan's journey to become a king. And so even though Tathaman is not renowned for being a pirate or a warrior or a thief, he still is accomplishing things along those paths. So it's maybe not the best explanation, but that's your consolation explanation for when you're playing the game without the Crom token. I love the Crom token. I think it's great because I originally wanted to design this game as a way to get around the fact that maybe everybody wants to be Conan when they're playing, and so with that you have that opportunity. So that was how it was, but it was just one more thing that was adding some complexity to the game, and the publishers were like, let's dial it back a little bit, and we'll make that an expansion thing, and I think it was the right choice. But I love playing it, and there's a whole thing called the Rogues Gallery that you can do. Where you have a bunch of characters out. So you're not just limited. If it's a 3-player game, you're not just limited to the one ally and the one foe. You can have several of them. But when someone plays the Crom token, if I'm the foe and I play the Crom token so that I can take over for Crom, that foe goes into the rogues gallery, and the player who is now needs a character can choose any foe. And so they can say, well, at this time, I think it would be better for me to be Zillus than to be Tothaman or to be the Bone Woman or whoever. So it's just a really cool way to play it. And so here you really are tracking everybody's progress as Conan, even though they're progressing when they're not directly playing Conan, but the idea is still there. So that's the achievement track. If you have any other questions about the achievement track, let me know in the comments. But I think it's a real sort of pillar of how to win this game is mastering this achievement track. And again, it's not complicated. If you're Conan or an ally and you've rolled these results in the main phase, you're rolling all your dice, and you look at that, so you can say, all right, I have the opportunity to move up a lot. I just have to make sure that Conan gets to the kingdom. And so, because the ally and Conan can both move Conan, they make it easy, and you can coordinate. You can say, look, we both rolled some warriors, and the foe is, way over here. It doesn't look like we're going to be needing those warriors to fight or duel. With fights, that'll be challenge tokens. So you might be like, we don't know if we're going to be fighting, but if we can avoid this token, if we can get to, we need to get to a thief kingdom, so maybe we do a sail action to over here. We're nowhere near this token, so we don't have to worry about using those warriors. Although this, that's not a warrior kingdom, so maybe you'd have to go. Maybe you just stay up here. You're like, yeah, we don't need to worry about that. We'll stay right here, spend our warriors, move up on that warrior track. Both of us can move up there, and and then if the foe starts moving this token, which the foe can do, then we can say, all right, now we'll do a sail action and we'll get the heck out of Dodge. And maybe we've rolled some thieves or pirates, and we can spend those to move up on those tracks. So that's a great way to kind of help each other out, which is thematic. So there you have it. That's it for this one, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.